Okay, so my name's Andy Griffiths. I am a community marketing manager, I guess you'd probably say, for Cardlife.
Can't you get it up any more than that?
Depends how drunk he is.
So I work for Freejam Games. We're a studio based in Portsmouth. There's about 50 of us. 25 work on another game called Robocraft, and 25 of us work on Cardlife. And Cardlife is the world's first survival game set entirely in a cardboard world. What we mean by that is that everything you see is made of cardboard. That includes all the creatures, the entire world, all the buildings that you build, all of the weapons that you construct, everything like that. And much like Minecraft and Ark, you start the game with nothing. You need to forage your resources, cut down trees to get wood. Once you get wood, you get an axe. And then once you've got an axe, you can cut down trees a lot quicker, and then you can start developing other tools to essentially make you survive in this world. It's a game that's in early access, and the whole premise of the game is essentially all about you establishing yourself in this world, but also it's a really good modding platform as well. So if you want to create Minas Tirith or a Death Star or an X-Wing like diorama thing, you can totally do that with cardboard as well in our creative mode. So yeah, that's kind of the game in a nutshell, really, at the moment. It was actually the premise created by our CEO. So he wanted to teach his son how to 3D model. And he looked at all the tools in the market, and there wasn't really much out there that could kind of do it. His son was quite young, like around about 7 or 8. And he developed this really cool first-person like sandbox where you'd spawn in the world, you'd have scissor tool, a glue tool, cardboard tool, and a stamp. And essentially what you do is you'd put the card, pick up the card, put it in the world, stamp a car on it, let's say, cut around the car stamp, glue it all together, and you'd have a fully functioning car. It was really, really cool. What we noticed was that usually when you give people a blank canvas in games, they really, really struggle to make something. Whereas if you give them like a connect the dots system where, you know, if they want to create some armor, they can follow the dotted lines. And if they from there, they really, what we found is that they wouldn't follow the lines hardly at all. Instead, they'd do crazy little shapes, they'd do little cuts and things like that, and we were like, cool, that's great. So we took that tool and kind of built the game around it from there, and everything really hinges on that connect the dots system. So if you want an online experience where you can play cooperative with your friends and build something that's truly unique, using like freeform mouse drawing, Cardlife's the game for you. Likewise, if you don't want to do anything like that, but you find the aesthetic really cool, and you just want a new survival game experience, so we offer that as well. You can just create the default spec if you want to, just with a click of a button. We're going to be adding raids, we're going to be adding dungeons, we're going to be adding more creatures, we're going to be adding cars, we're going to be adding mechs, we're going to be adding loads of different stuff. Like, we call the game a fantasy, science fantasy survival game. The reason why we do that is that we want to have, you progressing through different eras. So at the moment in game, we've got the kind of like the Stone Age era or prehistoric era. That's where you've got the dinosaurs rocking around, but you'll be able to progress to the Industrial Age, be able to progress to the sci-fi age, not sci-fi age, but like modern day, and then to the future as well. All that's like far-flung into the future, because at the moment we're very much kind of along this like Minecraft kind of stage, if you like. But as the game launches onto Steam, what we're really offering is like a chance for people to be on this journey with us together, this development journey. So at Freejam, we're really pride ourselves on working with the community as closely as we can. We've already had about 20,000 people buy the game, which we're really happy with. But obviously we want more, and we want people to almost tell us what they want. So, aside from all the cool creatures in the game and the artistic aesthetic, I think we have a game that's really unique. And really we're just looking for people to, come on this journey with us as much as they can. Yeah. So I would say the biggest struggle is knowing how far to push it. So when you're drawing freehand with a mouse, some people are really good at that, and other people are not so much. So we always get asked to like add more primitive shapes to the game. So like say for example, if you want to do a complete circle and connect the dots, you will be able to. So we will be adding that. I think the biggest struggle, I would probably say, is that once we had this system together, it was kind of like prioritizing it. So deciding what we wanted to add to the game first that would have the greatest impact in terms of people staying in the game and wanted to keep on playing it. So with the connects to the dots and the crafting stuff in general, I'd probably say making it so that people can mod what they create was probably the hardest thing. So whenever you use the connect the dots thing and you draw out a shape, it creates a PNG on your hard drive that you can edit. You can edit that with any creative toolset that you want. So you still have to stick to the template to a certain extent. So we have rules for like swords where they can't intersect the central structure of the sword, and the same for housing as well. Like, you know, certain wall types you can't intersect in certain shapes. The reason why we do that is that we need to tell the engine how to use it properly first. So I would say, yeah, the biggest struggle is a mixture of adding that functionality, a mixture of balancing what people actually want versus what they think they want, and also just designing the system in the beginning. Like the idea with us is to essentially build a modding platform that's really, really easy for people to use as much as they can. And we want people that with quite a low level of technical expertise to be able to mod this game. So the Connect the Dots thing is kind of like the entry level system to that. We've got tablet support with the Connect the Dots system already, with a certain number of tablets. We're quite close to the Nintendo area, I think. I think it's somewhere over there. We have had people from Nintendo, Microsoft and Sony have a look at this game over the years. They've all been really, really impressed with the customization system. But in terms of what we want to do as a studio, like obviously we're an indie, right? So we want to do what we want to do. And we feel like the most important thing that we need to do at the moment is give the PC audience a good game first. Like, our game is still quite buggy. We want to patch out all those bugs as much as possible and as quick as possible. So we're focusing on that, adding more content. As a studio, we launched Robocraft Infinity on Xbox One last year, and that was really, really cool. We really enjoyed it. It was the first time we ever made a console game. And what we learned is when you're dealing with the big three, you really need to have a successful game on PC first. Because as soon as you do that, you then have the ammunition to kind of go to them with your KPIs, like retention, sales, and stuff like that, and go, look, the game's already here. Like, you just need to help us with your platform and porting it across and things like that. So in terms of Cardlife being on other platforms, we're definitely years away from that, I would probably say. But that's the way that we like it. With 25 developers, that's a really substantial talent for any indie. So as soon as you start even thinking about other platforms, it's very easy to get distracted by those platforms, and we really don't want to do that. Like, we've got, like I said, 20,000 people in the community already. Like, those guys are our founders. We really cherish those guys, and we cherish all the guys that come with us on this journey on Steam as well. So before we do anything else, we need to give them a good, polished experience that's fully featured first. So we're going to do that. The Connect the Dots system, to be honest. Like, whenever we take it to shows and whenever we put it in front of press or Twitch streamers, YouTubers or whatever, it's always the thing that they stick to. It's always the thing that they look towards as kind of the thing that sets us apart from other games. So we've developed that. We think it's all our own tech. Obviously the game is driven by Unity and driven by an awesome piece of side tech called Voxel Farm, which drives all of our Voxel integration and the world building as well. So the Connect the Dots thing is by far, I think, it's the thing I'm most proud of, and I think it's the thing the development team is most proud of as well. Ideally, what we want to achieve is we just want to have a really cool game that loads of people play. But obviously, as we're independent developers, we live or die based on whether the audience lives or likes the game or doesn't like the game. So obviously, you want to create a game that people enjoy. We also want to create an experience which is a fully online, thriving world. In order to do that, we need players. In terms of everything else, like, you know, we got asked how many sales we want from it and stuff like that. Honestly, we don't know. Like, we never really know. Like, the last time we launched a game on Steam was in 2014 with Robocraft. Things change every couple of months on Steam, so yeah. So the Connect to the Dots thing is the thing we're most proud of. What we want for the game is just to keep developing it. Like, we've got a really cool concept. We know that this thing is cool, we know that it's different, and we just want an opportunity to kind of continue to build it, really. That's the main goal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
No worries, man. Thank you.